Data from the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor has shown that in South Africa, there is a frighteningly low number of entrepreneurial activity. This in spite of high levels of unemployment that the country currently battles. Meanwhile, in countries like Nigeria, the report shows that there is no shortage of willing and able entrepreneurs encouraged by internal market openness, but they are constrained by government programs and regulations. The Global Entrepreneurship Monitor also revealed that there is a 25% fear of failure, which is one of the main reasons that individuals between the ages of 18 and 64 in South Africa just don't make the effort to start up their own ventures. Tonight, we speak to people who form part of the 75% that have taken the brave leap of faith. Selebogo Molefe, the founder of the Hookup Dinner, which connects entrepreneurs to a network of potential investors, and Sibusiso Ngwenya, the founder of Skinny Sbu Socks, who's adding flair to the corporate world, and the lazy Makoti, who's creating the ideal wife.
Welcome back to Kicking Doors with me, Sbu. But with me to help ignite that fire tonight is the founder of the Hookup Dinner, Selebogo Molefe, and the tall founder of Skinny Sbu Socks, Sibusiso. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to start with the tall guy here with the socks. What are you showing us there? What's going on with the socks?
I'm not showing. This is how I sit, actually.
Yeah. Is this how the idea of you starting your own socks brand started?
Actually, because I'm a very tall guy, I've struggled to find pants that fit me properly, and for me, this has been my style for a very long time. 2013, I had collected something like 13 pairs of socks, and my mom was like, "Why don't you start selling these things?"
Also, it was your mom's idea.
It was my mom's idea.
Okay, because you're always wearing, because you're tall. You're wearing when you're wearing pants, socks are always showing.
Socks are always showing, but I was showing other people's brands and stuff. And my mom was like, Sbu, make this thing a business. And I started in a very lean way, in a very small way. I'd go to a store, buy socks, repackage them and sell them and take money from you and go and restock. You know? And now we are at Starterfords, we're on Spree, and the brand is just growing globally.
And what is a brand called? For those who don't know in Africa and other countries that are watching?
The brand is named after me, my story, and embracing who I am. I grew up a very tall, skinny guy, and I was like, my name is Sbu, I'm skinny, and I love socks. Why don't you name it Skinny Sbu Socks?
Oh, lovely. Yeah. And how does a pair retail?
A retail entry-level pair is $200.
200 rands.
200 rands.
That's around $8. Okay?
Yes, and they locally made. And I always tell people our story, Sbu, I'm very passionate about local manufacturing industry, because in Cape Town, where we produce the socks, they employ something like 60 people, meaning that my hustle in Joburg feeds 60 families back in Cape Town, So we insist on making the socks locally so that we get the finest quality also.
Leza, you're an interesting character. I'll call you a character because you are unpredictable. You are very creative, you're innovative, you're really smart, you're very good with people. Is for people that don't understand or that don't know what you do, what does the Hookup Dinner do? You founded the Hookup Dinner. What does it do?
It does exactly that. It hooks entrepreneurs up with opportunities. And we're about bringing people together. Once people are together in a room, you just see magic. And we offline, when we chat here, magic takes place because we're still already thinking about connections. And it was meant to help the guys at the bottom of the pyramid to connect with each other and share each other's networks and potentially start finding business. And that's what has happened. Media has gotten attracted to us, and in that sense, the entrepreneurs within our networks have been exposed to that.
Okay, so what chances or what opportunities do entrepreneurs get by being on the Hookup Dinner?
It's first and foremost a community platform, and therefore it's just about accessing like-minded people like yourself. And secondly, it's about education. So we've got development programs where we partner with some of our corporate partners, and that's essentially about helping you to understand your business modeling and the lean startup process for you to get your product to market. And most importantly, the last one is investment. So we invest in our own startups. We invest through access to markets that we give them, as well as just through the channels that we access, we pass them on to them.
Why choose entrepreneurship?
I love it. we're in emerging markets. What else can you do? there's lack of jobs, there's lack of everything, and it pushes you to be innovative around how you think about solutions and how to put bread on the table.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And how often do you guys have your gatherings?
It's the first Friday of the month, so
of every month.
Yeah, so we're building it to be an institution. It's not an event. It's a community.
Okay.
And as a result, we don't have to market it that much. People know that on the first Friday, it's a gathering of entrepreneurs across the continent, and we've got a 1 million strong vision, where we're tapping into a couple of African countries, both in the SADC, East Africa, as well as West Africa, where we're building up a community where they can trade amongst themselves. We're trying to break down borders. We're trying to make sure that as a startup, if I've got a friend in Nairobi who can help me access the local market, it shouldn't be that hard. And if the hookup dinner can become the channel, why not?
Sbu, why do you think the government still hasn't put entrepreneurship as part of the high school curriculum in this country? Do you think that's a good idea?
It's a good idea. It's important. In primary school, I was selling sweets. I had a brand then. It was called Strong 16 Sweet. Meaning that as a 10-year-old, I already knew.
So you've always loved this triple S.
I've always loved it. But I've always knew the power of branding. I've always knew the power of speaking to people and stuff. Imagine if the government now had a subject to say, let us formalize that small thing of trading sweets amongst your peers. I'd be very far as a young entrepreneur, you know. So I really think it's something that they should look into, and because I think as an African continent, we've taken global trends and made them their own. It's about time as an African people we sit down and say, actually, as Africa, what do we need?
And there's a lot of African brothers that are doing great things in Silicon Valley. There's a lot of African brothers and sisters that have got awesome business concepts, and actually awesome businesses.
You know, it's about time we look at the African climate and say, what is it that we need, and what are the kind of subjects that Africa needs to take it forward? And if we can really start looking at that as an African continent, we'll go very far, and we'll start taking entrepreneurship seriously.
Do you learn to become an entrepreneur, or entrepreneurs are born?
A friend of mine, Octavius, he always says, he says they're born to be made. And therefore you can learn. It's a learned skill. It's about problem solving. If you can learn how to solve problems, you can learn how to be an entrepreneur.
And actually, for me personally, I think we also have to demystify the whole idea around entrepreneurship. You know, when we're talking entrepreneurship, people already think that you have to employ 50 people, we have to have millions and stuff. Let's take a simple example as Bonang. She is entrepreneurial about the Bonang brand, and she goes on to sell the Bonang brand. One person, you know. So if a primary school teacher can sit down and say, I'm going to hone my skill of being a teacher and be the best primary school teacher, imagine what the government would say to that person. You're going to go and teach at Sibusiso for 2 hours and go to Cape Town and teach for 2 hours because you're entrepreneurial in your thinking. You know, so I really think we should really look at how do we define entrepreneurship as an African people.
And also think about it, we live in the collaborative economy, so the industrial economy is gone, we're in the digital age, and it's become easier, the barriers to entry are a whole lot lower. It's just about getting together with people, and the collaborative economy is where the future is. It's about people understanding how they can leverage off each other's skill set as well as networks. And if we go that route, entrepreneurship shouldn't be so hard.
So if I'm sitting in Ethiopia right now, I'm sitting in Kenya or Nigeria, I'd like to know more about the hookup dinner, or I'd love to be part of the community. What do I do?
Well, get online, search for the hookup dinner on all social networks, but most importantly on our website, thehookupdinner.com, and sign up. We are coming to your country. We've got a roadshow, 16 African countries that we are doing this year. We're doing the whole of the SADC region as well as East Africa, and then in West Africa we've got Ghana and Nigeria, and we're partnering with a massive global brand, and more will be revealed.
Lovely. I'm really proud of you, man. Yeah, keep empowering entrepreneurs out there doing wonderful work. May the God bless you.
Oh, thank you, man.
And Sbuda, how do you get in touch with, how do you get familiar with your brand?
Well, how do you get familiar with our brand? I think the first platform is social media. You know, as I've said, Skinny Sbu Socks is currently available at Starter Forts. People can go to Spree and purchase a pair there, or they can come into our own online platform. But Sbu, I should tell you something very interesting. We want to grow a global luxury brand. And I feel guys like Abo Laduma, Maklosa, they're doing exactly that. Your Black Coffees and Trevors, you know, and we're learning from those guys. So our campaign from today onwards, we want to be the first Black-owned fashion brand to have a billboard in Africa's richest square mile, which is Sandton, you know. So we're working towards that, and we want everybody's support, you know, and we're running everybody to follow us.
Young people out there doing great things with their lives. The question I want to ask you is, what are you doing with yours? Sbuda Nolebza, thank you very much for joining us tonight.